ZeroDivide, formerly the Community Technology Foundation, held a series of meetings resulting in a rich dialogue with community organizations about the integration of hip-hop, media, and social justice. ZeroDivide believes that investments in California's local enterprises will lead to healthy, vibrant communities.
The question we asked before, why do people ask hip-hop to lead? Because it's so powerful. I mean, you can look at the economic impact, you can look at the social impact, Public Enemy showed us the political impact, it's the most dynamic form, I would argue, of political and art creation of African Americans ever.
The overall umbrella is social justice and social change. And what are some of the avenues for getting there?
Being able to relate the entertainment value with a message. I think that's the important part.
We will, as much as possible, continue to try to support good ideas. What we want is for you to be able to publish, to produce, to distribute, to give voice, to build community, and to change society.
We forget some of the things hip-hop should take credit for that no one gives it credit for. Hip-hop was absolutely instrumental in the use of condoms, absolutely instrumental in terms of the decrease of crack use in communities, teenage pregnancy and awareness about saying no, absolutely in terms of HIV education, abuse in families gets discussed there, children's issues in particular get discussed there. So this is a space where so many issues that aren't discussed publicly, actually that the work gets done, and a lot of people organize around it, because it is a space where that gets discussed. We remember the social justice successes that have come out of hip-hop.
What I've realized doing this work over the last couple of years is that there has been a convergence of youth development and youth media, with hip-hop media included in that.
I see hip-hop more as a tool, an extremely powerful tool in terms of people's responses to it, the impact it can have, and that's just like kind of a microcosm of the bigger thing. I think that it's most powerful when it's connected.
There are so many periphery entrepreneurial opportunities around hip-hop and education opportunities. There's so many, there's the digital arts, there's the filmmaking aspect, the clothing aspect, all of these things.
The piece that to me speaks of sustainability, which is where we want to be, is the entrepreneurship. And that's, that's a core entity inside of hip hop. Clothing makers, independent music labels, these folks are out there to make money. Mm-hmm. So let's, to me, I like the fellowship idea as an incubator. Social entrepreneur incubator. What if we took business models and said, let's prop that up? That's sustainable. They got products. They got that. There's a motivation there that's both personal and it's going to feed yourself. I'd like to see us build that much more into our thinking.
The foundation has a lot to learn from sort of the consumer behavior field. If you're going to talk about sort of environmental and institutional interventions, fighting AIDS in Africa, for example, and mass campaigns using mass media, I don't see that really kind of that being too unethical. If we don't sort of kind of do that, we're just going to be constantly in a reaction mode. What we're doing now, a lot of our work is like, okay, our kids are being fed these sort of anti-social messaging through commercial hip-hop. What can we do to kind of turn the tides, prevent some sort of counterbalance to that?
There is a marketplace for people to use hip-hop to educate young people.
And I'm more interested in building alternative institutions where we control the messaging and not so much worry about that, but be more proactive and link youth communities through hip-hop institutions and youth activities and scenes that are cool and that are hip and that don't seem corny. And I think that's really where the play's at.
The way we define it at the foundation is two different ways. One is a for-profit entity that helps fund a not-for-profit agenda, or using entrepreneurship to ease a social ill.
And that's at least where the DJ project's trying to go, with the help of actually CTFC recently, by launching some different satellite studios and creating this larger linked network of youth culture where youth are in the driver's seat.
I agree. I think the whole notion of hip-hop for a lot of young people in the community is an economic
the more that we can see in terms of entrepreneurial component, the more interested we'll become. So
we have a youth crew that's basically running an entertainment business, a youth promotions and event production business. I got eight paid kids on that staff, and they're throwing a series of &1 hip-hop hoops tournaments. We got 3 of those happening this year, and we're doing a bi-monthly dances, similar to what you were talking about. We're not hitting them over the head with the politics and some of that stuff where they get turned off to, but you let them kind of like create a scene that still has some cool points. We have street teams, and that's what I'm into. I want to compete in ways with KMEL and KYLD for the attention of the young people.
You can coalesce youth media, you can coalesce social justice, you can coalesce community, and you can coalesce the internet. You bring all those pieces together, harness the power of youth voice, which is the most powerful medium that we have in this country, if you ask me. Look at the truth campaigns and that kind of youth-informed element to be able to change people's attitudes and behaviors about tobacco. Seems to me you get that going, and out of the back end comes something of substance, something that can ride this vehicle of the internet to touch a lot of folks, both within their neighborhoods and in the community at large. You're speaking in a language that youth and we all know, which is the media, and you're trying to harness and create a social justice movement around that. Have a youth video group match up with, with Ella Baker Center, and you'd mentioned some of the videos that you guys produce. Have them collaborate with the DJ Project, have them collaborate with the graffiti, with the Eastside Alliance and Estria, and these folks who are.
We'll show it all.
Yeah, and youth radio will show it all, exactly. That's when you start to gain critical mass.
You can make a significant impact in terms of social change and changing the way people think.